Welcome to week 1 of the Elestriad, where DistantCoder, representing Aeolus and the Wind Pantheon, throws down against JadeJonny, representing Zeus and the Thunder Pantheon, in the first week of clashes for our epic event. If you didn't check out the team builder and pack opening and all of the announcement videos leading up to this, I encourage you to check them out in the description below. But otherwise, let me know who you think is going to win this week of the Elestriad with a nice comment down below, of course. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and don't forget to pick up your own starter decks at shopelestrals.com. Without further ado, let's jump into the clash. All right, our dice roll is in, and it looks like DistantCoder is going to opt to go first in this one. Utilizing the Wind package and Aeolus, going to be looking to get that Aeolus out very quickly so he can search out the various tools that can be useful for the Wind deck. That's really the advantage that Wind has going for it, is this opportunity to search your deck for many pieces, including your Sorlets, your Pigas, and various things like that, to give you a pretty good advantage in the game. But it looks like Coder's going to start things off with a mulligan. He's going to expend 2 spirits to shuffle his hand back into his deck and draw a new fresh set of 5 cards. Probably wasn't happy with what he had there, getting things kicked off. And Johnny is just sitting back, nice and relaxed, looking like he's ready to execute whatever strategy him and Zeus cooked up going into this. Now, as a reminder, DistantCoder did pull some pretty spicy things in his pack opening, including a Voltempest. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if he tries to utilize it in this match, because he never pulled the Griffuse that he was looking for. But if a Voltempest is able to hit the field, I think that could actually be pretty powerful. All right, so it looks like Coder has a new hand here, and he's going to throw down a Wind Spirit to get this match started with a Sorlet. Sorlet, representing 5 attack, can easily change the position of opposing Elestrals to give you a more favorable situation at the cost of a Wind Spirit. So Johnny looks like he's got something up his sleeve here. Let's see how he's going to get this game kicked off. He's going to throw down 2 Earth Spirits to play Earthquake, which is one of the cards that I believe he picked up from his pack opening. So Johnny in his 5th pack picks up that Earthquake and then plays Toxion down. Toxion is going to be able to deal 1 spirit damage automatically when it receives a Thunder Spirit, and that's going to put DistantCoder all the way back at 16 to start. A Nectar of the Gods from Johnny allows him to draw 2 cards, and you see the spirit totals dwindling down for both casters here, as he's going to throw down Mount Olympus, bringing his Toxion to a powerful 5 attack. As the Elestriad proceeds, we're going to look for JadeJonny to try to pick up some Altar of Stars. It's a card that can pair incredibly well with Toxion, and it can allow you to activate that receive effect multiple times. DistantCoder is going to draw for his turn, and he's going to think about a couple different ideas here. He's facing down a 5 attack Toxion, but no back row. And that's going to be something very cool to watch over the course of the next few weeks as these casters get access to more cards in their repertoire, is you're going to start to see the metagame change very quickly, right? You're going to see more counter runes as they get access to them. You're going to see a little bit more varying strategy. But DistantCoder is going to play the Island of Aeolia and take stadium control, and validating that Mount Olympus, and ultimately giving all of his Wind Elestrals +1/+1 on the attack and defense side of things. He's going to throw down his Aeolus, but only Enchanted with 2. That's going to get him just 1 search out of his deck. I'm curious what he goes for. He's going to grab the Hydrake here, and that's a very interesting play. Hydrake is now able to actually run into that Toxion and actually destroy it in this case, because Toxion now has 4 attack and Hydrake has 5. But this is a core focus point of DistantCoder's strategy, as he's going to look to try to get his Twindra and then Pantera onto the field. Let's do a quick listen in.
My Hydrake is 1 bigger due to my Islands of Aeolia. We got to do the anime protagonist voice.
Well, I'm going to activate Nectar of the Gods.
What does that do?
I don't know, but I'm just going to pick up cards from the top of my deck.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, you do you, buddy boo. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh,
You do you, buddy boo. Send it.
Dude.
Some super fun banter there from the casters as Johnny throws down Nectar of the Gods, draws a couple cards, and then blasts his Thunderstorm to the field to destroy the Tsunami sitting in the back row for DistantCoder. That could give Johnny the opening he's looking for to get some sort of offensive presence going here. But you got to be really careful, because if you attack and destroy that Hydrake, it's just going to lead to more problems if you don't have a way to deal with it. Johnny looks like he's got his own Mount Olympus to invalidate the Island of Aeolia, so that's going to be gone. And now he has a chance to maybe hit over this Hydrake, but we're going to see a triple Thunder Spirit down to play Zeus. He's going to throw down Spark It. He's got the dreaded combo, Nexusing 2 onto Spark It. That's going to bring Spark It's attack up to 7, and he's able to pick a card out of DistantCoder's hand. It's going to be the Sorlet, of course, not the Twindra. And now Spark It has an opportunity to deal some massive damage, not only to knock out the Twindra, but to hit the Spirit deck for 2 spirits. And now DistantCoder is going to have to search through his deck and play that Twindra sitting at 5 attack, staring down a really strong Spark It. So Johnny's down to just 5 spirits, but DistantCoder has 7, but has a Twindra that's much weaker than the Spark It on the field due to the Mount Olympus. So we'll have to see what DistantCoder is going to draw into and what they can play out here, because he only had the Twindra in hand. He lost his Tsunami from that Thunderstorm play, and Zeus is still sitting on the field, having the potential to drop attack and defense stats of opposing Elestrals on the upcoming turn. So what does he top deck into? He's got 2 Water Spirits going down for Nectar of the Gods. A huge top deck for DistantCoder, allowing him to draw 2 more cards and potentially get the card that he needs to get back into this clash here. He's got something up his sleeve with only 5 spirits left. These 2 casters are down to the nitty-gritty of things. Oh man, this is going to be real interesting how this is going to shake out. Spark It sitting at 7 attack. Twindra sitting at 5. He could crash the Twindra and get out a Panterror, but in doing so, he would have very few spirits left, right? You're going to crash, you're going to take 1, you're going to get Panterror out, that's going to take you 3. You're going to knock out the Spark It, but then you're sitting at a Panterror with only 1 spirit left. So Coder's got a couple tough decisions to make here. Does he go that route? Does he try to play something else here? It's going to be a pretty sketchy situation, as again, both these casters are down to their final few turns with only 5 spirits left. They're both debating. DistantCoder thinking about it. Does he go for the Twindra crash? That's a very interesting play. Twindra has the opportunity to ramp up very quickly into Panterror when it goes on the offensive, but in situations like this, you have a lot of risk involved when you could potentially lose a lot of spirits in doing so, and he's gonna go for the big play. He is going to crash into the Spark It, take a spirit of damage as a result, and he's going for the big Panterror play. For those who don't know, Panterror sports the highest attack in Elestrals at 15, and while attack only plays in so much of a factor, in this context, Panterror is going to be a huge threat to try to take down, but that is going to bring DistantCoder down to just 1 spirit left, and he's actually forced to misenchant the Panterror, so it doesn't have an effect. It's not really relevant here because he wouldn't be able to take advantage of the effect anyway. If anything, it just helps him get over a Viseros if he needed to, but nonetheless, he does take out the Spark It, and now Johnny, with 5 spirits and a 6th on Zeus, and of course his Mount Olympus, has an opportunity to try to respond here and get back into it. Did he pass for turn? Wow, it looks like he just passed his turn, didn't even cast anything. And I was just reminded by the fact that, I'll tell you what, that Panterror is actually sitting at 18 attack because of the Mount Olympus. So we'll see what's gonna happen here. Does he just attack directly? There's no counter runes, there's nothing to stop this attack. Oh my goodness. DistantCoder in a very powerful position here with Panterror on the field. It was looking pretty grim for a second, but making that push to Panterror looks to be pretty advantageous at this moment. We're going to find out how it's going to play out here momentarily. DistantCoder debating, do I cast another Elestral with my last spirit, or do I just hit directly? And he's going to just go for the hit directly. He's going to hit for 3 spirits here, 2 Lycaris and a Vipyro. That's going to bring Johnny down to just 2 spirits left. Johnny needs to make a play right here, right now. Otherwise, this Panterror is going to ultimately seal his defeat. 2 spirits left. He's going to play Jolton into defense position. Now, I do want to make an interesting note here. We saw Toxion earlier, and maybe that's why Coder opted to not cast another Elestral, understanding that if Toxion hits the field, he would essentially be burned for his last spirit. So, very smart decision, it seems, to play his odds, understand that Toxion could cost him the game. Jolton obviously sitting here can be very defensive. There's a face down rune. We don't know what that is. Don't forget, counter and invoke runes can be played by pulling from spirits on the field. Let's do a listen in for the final minute.
Tsunami, am I scared of Tsunami? Not really. And that puts you on nothing. Oh, if you shield would cost you a total of 4 if you were to shield my Pantera, right?
Yeah, and I'd have to expend from Spirit deck, so there's no way I can shield Pantera.
Yeah.
I could shield a 1 cost, but I can't shield Pantera.
Yeah, you can shield a 1 cost with your board. If you shield a 1 cost, am I really upset? I don't think I am. But then if I drop a 1 cost, I'm shit out of luck, because then if you shield a 1 cost, I'm out of spirits. Like, total. I think I have to be reckless a little bit. I'm gonna misenchant Aeromare with water, and I'll go combat.
Yeah, you got it.
What do you have back there?
EQ.
Oh
I
my
didn't pull,
god.
I only pulled 1 Atlas.
Oh, for real?
And that is gonna be game DistantCoder able to take it. And that is gonna be the game DistantCoder able to take it on the back of his Pantera. Johnny did indeed have that Toxion in hand, but chose to try to save it at the very end, hoping to burn an extra spear from Coder. It didn't work out that way, and ultimately DistantCoder finishes week 1 of the Elestriad 1-0. Be sure to tune in to the rest of our matches this week, and of course next week you'll see these casters throwing down again with even more cards added to their card pool and their arsenal to throw down the Elestriad, which you can track everything over at Elestriad.com to see the stats, the player updates, and everything in between. Thank you guys so much for watching. Head over to shop Elestrals.com and pick up yourself a starter deck, and I'll see you guys next time.